Star Trek is owned by CBS Studios, Inc. Look again at that dot. That's here. That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you love, everyone you know, everyone you ever heard of, every human being who ever was, lived out their lives. The aggregate of our joy and suffering. Thousands of confident religions, ideologies, and economic doctrines. Every hunter and forager, every hero and coward, every creator and destroyer of civilization, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every mother and father, hopeful child, inventor, and explorer, every teacher of morals, every corrupt politician, every superstar, every supreme leader, every saint and sinner in the history of our species lived there, on a mote of dust suspended in a sunbeam. Imagination will often carry us to worlds that never were, but without it we go nowhere. Somewhere, something incredible is waiting to be known. These are the voyages of the USS Pegasus.
Stardate 41213.7, First Officer's Log, Commander Yennek recording. To provide the USS Pegasus with sufficient power to fully utilize its upgraded systems, a proper warp core will be required. However, the rarity of a proper fitting warp core for such an older ship, and the lack of Starfleet personnel to locate said item, have resulted in an attempt by the senior crew of the Pegasus to act alone in the acquisition. Acting on a tip from a Ferengi trader based at the Narendra station, Commander Hunt, Lieutenants Thatcher and Tuan, and myself have traveled to an Orion shipyard, where the ill-gotten goods of the Orion pirate syndicate are disassembled to be used or sold on the open market. To avoid a political incident, our mission is not acknowledged by Starfleet, and we will be disavowed if captured. If this record should survive me, I wish it known that I bequeath my highest commendation and testimonial to the captain and crew of the USS Pegasus, which I am convinced will become the finest starship in the fleet. End First Officer's Log.
So yes, it's reasonably dark. The only light that's on in there is coming from the warp core itself.
Well, it should be similarly sled mounted. So it should be
So
a
does
simple
it
matter
slide
of...
upwards or downwards? And,
I think it'll slide out.
the commander's looking at it, pointing up, pointing down.
Yeah. and the other commander's going, no, it slides back and forth.
Huh? Like left and right, or forwards and backwards?
Forwards and backwards. So, if you're picturing the engineering, it should run in parallel with the docking base. And so that's how it would be installed, and similarly that's how we're going to remove it. So we should be able to use the anti-grav moorings that we brought with us as equipment. We should be able to mount those on there. We should be able to decouple whatever connections from the plasma injectors, let's say. And then once we contain the warp core in the portable field generator, we just slide the thing out because it's floating on these. Remember Han Solo being taken when he was frozen in whatever, carbonite? That's how I'm picturing it. It's going to be something like that. And we're just going to move it out like that.
Wasn't that a movie from like the 20th century?
Yes. Sorry, I wasn't saying this in character.
You just flowed right through.
Just about everything's in character with this group.
I couldn't tell the difference.
It's true.
I couldn't tell the difference where you stop being a character.
We usually just assume it's all in character.
Yep.
And then, like, my Adam thinks I'm picking on him because I thought he couldn't remember only in character.
Well, I wouldn't be quoting Star Wars.
Okay.
Yes. But so it's fine. I think out of character, I'm saying that's how I'm picturing it moving out, anyways.
I'm picturing it like in the next gen, where the warp core is horizontal.
Exactly, it's mounted like, and so this is. So I'm guilty because I went and looked at all this stuff, and again listened to the guy that designed the NX refit thing, and this is how he said it was. So that's why I was assuming you're going with that. But
Okay.
we can do it however whatever
Oh, no.
fits. I mean, I'm fine to.
Whatever you think's more correct.
No, I'm not hung up on it. I know it's gonna
Oh,
always
neither
sound
am I.
like I'm being so anal about it. I'm totally not. I'm perfectly willing to go with whatever. I'm just saying
Damn
there is
Falcons.
established stuff there that says this is how it goes. So I'm like, for lack of any other idea, we might as well just go with the way it says it goes, right?
Yep. We probably should.
So okay, that would be the plan then. Basically everything up until I said remember Star Wars.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Are we camming?
We'll attach.
Oh, we can.
I
We'll
thought
attach
Aaron
these,
was doing a Becca then.
Yeah, we'll attach the portable warp field containment, the warp drive containment field. Okay, so I will inform Lieutenant Thatcher. Attach the anti-grav couplings to the warp core containment system. I will work on disconnecting the plasma injectors. And Commander Hunt, if you can disconnect the warp core and power it down so that the ship is running on emergency power support.
All right, so let's see if I can remember how to do this.
And Lieutenant Tuan, keep an eye out.
The medic's on security.
Well, I was gonna say whatever you need me to do, I hope it can be done with one arm, and that can be.
I can help keep an eye out as well.
You were already given specific tasks,
Was I?
Lieutenant Thatcher.
Oh, I forgot.
Yes, you
Yes,
were.
you were.
It was Thatcher.
You were tasked to attach the anti-grav couplers to the
I
warp
will
drive
do that.
containment system.
And unless you feel you're under loads of stress, which I
No.
don't think you are to be control.
So control engineering. So
And I guess I'm keeping an eye on
one success.
the door.
So it's going to take you longer than you thought.
Okay. So probably Chris and myself need to do the same
Yep, if you're doing anything
roles for
technical.
stuff that we're doing. Now, for warp field theory, I'm doing the stuff to actually disconnect the plasma
So
injectors.
if you get a roll under your discipline, it will be 2 successes.
Okay, then that's all I get. I don't get to use an extra roll or anything like that, right? Okay.
Focuses are to deal with.
So that's control and engineering, I guess.
And am I assisting?
No, you're doing something different. So I got 1 success, Aaron.
And is that under
But
your
you said-
discipline?
It is. No, it is not under. my
Okay, so
discipline.
it's 1 success.
I got 2 successes and 1
Okay.
tied my engineering. I don't know
Okay.
if that.
Yeah.
I don't think that matters.
Yeah, ties a win.
Can't tie it.
Tie is a win.
Oh, I mean it tied the focus one.
The
Yep,
discipline.
same.
So if it's to do with your focus and it ties with the discipline, it still counts as an extra success?
Below and a tie.
Okay. Then
Okay.
3 successes, it sounds like?
Not necessarily. I'm trying to think of something
Oh.
I could tie it to.
Oh.
Like quantum mechanics maybe, but most of mine are science based. So well, I got the grav attached, grav lifts attached.
Anti-grav?
That was quick.
But, yeah, it's not
So
too
he's
hard when
waiting
you know
on
what
us
you're
to.
doing.
Yeah, he's waiting on me to finish disconnecting the plasma injectors, and then Commander Hunt will switch the power for the ship over to an auxiliary power unit.
And
And then
so
we can
far,
try to
standing
move
at
it
this
out.
door is very uneventful, which I like.
Question. Well, Commander's typing away or pressing buttons, monitoring what's going on. What's going to happen when we switch this thing off? XO.
Sorry, switch what thing off?
Oh, the Warpcore.
Well, this is why I'm having you reroute all power to the auxiliary power system.
So
So it'll be running on regular ion drives, which are what powers the impulse engines. The plan is that there won't be any change to the internals of the ship. Lighting will stay on. Life
So
support
hopefully
will
no
stay
one will
on.
notice.
That is the plan, is that they won't notice. Unless they are scanning, they shouldn't see us.
Well, let's hope they're not.
okay, cool. I'll be done momentarily.
Okay, so shall we take a look to see has anybody noticed anything? Does Lieutenant Tuan see any Andorians? Or, Orions?
Well, there is
There's at least one
Lieutenant Thatcher here.
Andorian. Yeah, exactly. There's one Andorian that's already finished his task, and he's sitting there like Sonic the Hedgehog.
I haven't seen anything yet.
Okay.
Just, chilling here.
Don't take any chances. If you see something, say something.
Will do.
Or shoot it.
I'd rather not.
Well, did we have phasers, or did we have disruptors?
We've got phasers.
Okay, so set your phasers to stun.
Mine's always on stuff.
Hunt's looking around the engineering room. How many ways are in and out of this place? 2. Yeah, you put your fingers like that, Aaron.
Yeah.
So I couldn't really... Huh? 2?
Huh? 2.
Okay. So we need Tuan's going between the 2.
I guess I'm just walking back and forth between 2 doors. Anything over here? No. Okay. Anything over there?
Well, one
Oh,
is a
good.
door, and
I-
one
I-
is the Jeffrey's tube.
One is a personnel door, and the other is a tube that can actually accommodate the warp drive. I'm guessing, right?
I see.
Hey? But we... What? The tube
Jeffrey's tube.
accommodates the warp drive?
Okay,
Wait,
so
wait.
I guess we
Yep.
keep plugging away at
Yes.
disconnecting the old system and prepping the new warp core for transport. And I suppose we finish doing that. And the moment of truth comes. We try to... Once it's disconnected, we've obviously already got the emergency, or the... I'm saying emergency, I mean the auxiliary power.
Power switched over, yes.
To be
Confirmed.
running, because the ship's like, there's no deflector shields being powered. There's no, it's not moving. So the ion drive should provide, or the impulse drives should provide enough power to power lighting and life support systems and whatever else. So unless they're measuring or scanning for power output from the ship, there shouldn't be an issue. Okay. So we flip the switch. If power is still on and everything is still working,
There's a momentary flicker, but it seems to be okay.
all right. Then with Lieutenant Tuan leading the way.
Why?
Well, because it's going to take at least 2 of us. So maybe Commander Hunt and Lieutenant Tuan can
Thinking
lead the
back,
way, and Lieutenant Thatcher and myself can be moving with the warp drive.
The positions of the Orions before, were they visible to each other? In the hallway? There was 2 sets of 2.
No, they
the
weren't.
ones we walked by before we...
They weren't visible?
Yeah.
But we have to go past them again?
Near them, but not past them.
Okay.
They were down a hall, and you came to a T. So you came to like a T intersection, and they were like down one side, and you went the other.
One thing we could do is we could set a delay in the systems for the life support and lights to turn off once we cross a certain point in our exit of the ship.
And just kill all of the Orions?
No.
I'm not comfortable with that.
No. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will run to engineering to fix the issue.
Where we are.
No. But I'm saying as we get far enough along, cause a diversion so that
Right.
they have to rush to engineering. If they're rushing to engineering to restore life support, they're less likely to be inclined to stop and get into a firefight with us.
That is a good idea. Forgive me if I'm wrong. I don't remember us putting on the EVA suits, though.
We must have had something to get from the shuttlecraft to the ship, right?
Nope. We docked.
We
did
docked?
dock.
Okay,
We did
so then
dock.
we're not
Yeah.
prepped, so scratch that plan then.
I want to check, because half the time I don't remember things that have happened, so it was very possible.
I mean,
just...
it really depends on how good you are at holding your breath.
Well, how long did it take us to get to engineering? And again, that's assuming we wouldn't be stopped on our way.
I'm not comfortable at all making you guys do that, and making Yennek do that without an EVA suit.
Yeah, I'm concerned about the Orions that we might have to pass, so I guess we'll gauge the situation as we get closer. Hunt will be up front.
Alright, I guess Kelle's next, because you said those two ahead of the
I thought
the Warpcore.
Kelle and Hunt could lead the way, and Thatcher and I will be with the Warpcore.
Yep, I can help push it along.
Yep. That's basically all we're doing. We're just kind of walking with it and keeping an eye on whatever, make sure the portable warp field or warp containment field generator doesn't suddenly calf or something.
Question, Mr. GM. Would my character know how to overload a disruptor? Like, we would obviously be trained in the in overloading our own phases. Would we not?
Yeah, you know how to overload phases, but disruptors are a little bit different. So I guess it depends if you've had experience with disruptors.
Maybe a little bit, based on his background, but yeah. Okay. No, it's just a thought.
Are you going to turn a disruptor into a grenade and try and throw it?
Here, catch, shoot me.
Yes, here's another weapon.
There is that. They might not be too inclined to shoot us because we are transporting a warp core.
Although
one wrong move and things could go boom pretty quickly and pretty drastically.
If they spot us after we've left, they might not notice that we have a warp core at that point.
Yep.
Or they might not know.
Yep, no, that's fair.
But,
Well, let's just hope for the best, I suppose.
right now we're relying on stealth, and that's worked for us so far, more or less.
Has it?
Not for Tuan. Yes, speaking of which, are you alright, Tuan? Like, your arm looks a bit sore.
I mean, it's alright. It hurts, but I have some dermaline in my med kit, so that'll start the burns healing. Be nice to get back to a proper med bay, though. Can be injected or applied as a topical gel, good for second and first degree burns. Guess who's done more research? I got 2 pages of this stuff.
You'll be asked to be a consultant on the new Star Trek series.
Doubtful, because I bet they know it already.
I don't know, there's a lot of lore. It's possible that not all of
I
the
have an
people working on it would
alphabetized
know
list
that.
of medicine now. It's great.
Okay, so I'm assuming that there's no sudden power fluctuations as we're transporting the warp core.
There was a slight... Oh.
Yeah, there was a slight wrinkle in the ship systems as we switched power from the warp core to the auxiliary power system. But as we move along, our containment field generator seems to be working fine. And so far, we have not seen anybody.
Excellent.
Now, if we can make our way to the docking bay, we can load the warp core onto the shuttle. I don't know, Aaron, if you want to have us roll for anything to load it onto the shuttle. No? Okay.
I mean, it's
So
just
we can get
it's
it
just
onto
moving
the
it.
shuttle? Yeah. No, I just thought I
But
don't know
we
if there's anything like to then lock it into place in the shuttle.
I did think about making it not fit.
Well, that was I sent you that email about it saying
before we left. Didn't we check that the shuttle was big enough?
the warp core is like about it's at least 30 feet long, right? So I was like,
I thought we checked
I don't think
that
the
the shuttle
shuttle's
was
30 feet long, but
Did anyone bring Oki straps?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It fits, but we have to leave someone behind.
Yeah, there's a bunch of bungees hanging off the back.
Somebody has to put on their EVA suit and just strap themselves to the outside. Yes.
Yeah.
Right now it's mine.
But we don't. Nice. We don't see anyone if all the way back to the shuttle.
Nope, we've loaded the drive onto the shuttle. So now I would say,
Wow.
Commander Hunt, set course for Narendra Starbase.
Roger that.
Maximum speed.
Oh, hey, you're not frozen anymore.
Hooray.
Well, we'll make sure the airlock's closed once we get the warp core in to the back of the shuttle.
Good idea.
And Hunt will detach the shuttlecraft off the ship and use thrusters to. We don't have warp capability in this, do we?
Wait, I thought we did, just not
did we?
like as much.
Warp 3. Okay. Alright. So the general idea is to thruster us in the right direction and engage warp.
You need to get away from the shipyard in order to do that.
Yeah.
Why?
Because you can't warp in an area that has a gravitational effect.
Did not they do that in Next Gen movie? Or did they?
The answer is because that's why.
You notice that's why I said maximum speed, because I wasn't sure about warping out of here or not. So,
Well,
maximum
we
possible
could.
speed.
What's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Our characters would know whether we can do that or not.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And,
All right.
and we have been informed.
But if
no.
it makes you happier, I will spend one of the threat that I have.
Oh, I thought you were going to say, if it makes you happier, I'll write on the wall that you can't. So it's official.
So you have to do some slick navigating there.
Again.
Commander Hunt, take her out carefully and quickly.
Well, given that we have to get out of here ASAP, I guess Hunt will power up the systems and try and make a speedy retreat around the other side of the admin building. Maybe. Or can I go straight out the right or something
Well,
like
you can
that?
go straight out anywhere, but I mean, they're going to
See.
you're gonna hit the defense grid at some point.
Oh, there's a defense grid.
So, do we wish to cross nearest to the admin building? Do we want to go? If we look at the picture of the station,
So wait,
do we
if
want to
there
go
is a defense grid,
straight
is the defense grid, like activated completely within this area, or how does the defense grid work? How does a defense grid work?
You never worried about it coming in. You had a piggyback
'Cause
on the
we
way in.
piggybacked. Yeah.
Yeah. You followed a ship.
Remember we hopped on
Right
an
on in.
Orion freighter? And that's how
So
we came.
logically, we should follow something out.
Well,
Well, is anything
There is
leaving?
nothing leaving.
So that might be tricky.
hence some threat spent.
So, XO, there is the chance that we could fly straight into a defense grid, if there is one. Which would require blowing up the admin building? To remove?
The defense grid is probably set upon the others. Like, probably all 4 things have to be in place to be working. So, I think if we were to disable or destroy one of the, I'm assuming from the picture, Aaron, there's 4 corners to the defense grid. Are the square boxes supposed to be because the defense grid is probably the weapons system as well? So I'm guessing if you blow up one, probably the 2 that are connected to it, you've probably...
No, the squares are weapons systems, and that circle on the left is a sensor array.
Well, okay, so maybe Aaron has to clear that up for us then. How is the defense grid set up?
Well, all you can see is that there is some phaser banks.
Okay, but sorry, when you're saying it's a defense grid, are you saying there's like a force field in place that's going to stop us from moving, or you're saying there's big weapon systems there?
They've got weapon systems.
Okay, so yeah, we will have to either sneak by or disable or destroy one of the...
But we have phasers, do we not? Okay.
Does a shuttlecraft have phasers that are capable of destroying one of these weapon systems? Would we know that?
Why?
Like,
With your phaser.
you do
It's a
know
weapon system, it's not-
that you are in violation of treaty at this point.
Yeah.
Yep. So shooting them would not be because yes, we can't. No. Yes. No. Yes.
Well,
No,
we're going to
yes,
be
no?
disavowed if we're caught.
Well, we can't get caught, but you know, if we're in a Federation shuttle, they should be able to detect our warp signature. But failing that, like if we shot something, it would be evidence that Federation
Yes.
technology was used against one of the weapon systems.
So we shouldn't shoot anything.
Fair enough. Yes.
Well, if
So
you
we
if
just
you
need
did
to-
destroy the admin building, that would be hard for your captain if he found out to.
Yes.
No,
Do
I'm not
destroy
saying.
the admin building. There
I'm not
could be
saying
people
destroy the
there.
admin building. I'm destroying the blah 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 blah.
The weapons.
The sensor array or the weapons systems.
Yep. Destroying,
assuming
or we can trick their scanning system, their sensor array, into thinking that we are an Orion ship. Does anybody have computers? Mr. Thatcher,
There's lots
I'm
of
looking
computers
your
on
way.
board, but
Well, no, as a focus or as a talent or anything like that.
actually, I do have a focus which
I have no expertise.
I
in
will send
computers.
to the GM.
You have micro torpedoes and a phaser bank.
Yeah, but micro torpedoes made by the Federation.
What about Lieutenant Aura?
I don't have anything, sorry. I'm pretty dumb when it comes to computers.
And you're the head science officer?
Well, yes, but
You
more...
must know at least a bit about.
No, but you
computers.
might not have taken a focus to go. Yeah, that's all.
Yeah, I'm good at quantum
Fair enough.
mechanics and physics and stuff like that. But when it comes to computers and
The easy stuff.
hacking, that's not
the
my,
easiest.
not my specialty.
Okay. If I had the old Yennek, he had computers as a focus, but this one does not, sadly. I think I took philosophy and composure instead. Because that's what we could try to do, is to mask the signature of the ship so that it appears to be something that it's not when it's scanned.
Quite possibly.
I could give it a shot. I'd have to rely more on my knowledge of physics and quantum mechanics than my computer's knowledge, though.
Well,
That would be-
I don't
I've had to do it before, but not on a Federation ship. Not on a shuttlecraft, at least.
It would be preferable to shooting anything, though.
We could always just blow through it.
I've got-
and deny
So,
Why?
everything.
can I ask again,
Deny
what
it,
does
that's not
the
gonna work.
values do? If you have a value that you can tie to something...
Your
what does that
determination.
do for you? Oh, it's determination, okay. Okay, so I've got advisor, supervisor, technical expertise. I've got those as talents. As values, I've got pay attention to detail, a solution to every problem. Science always provides an answer.
Well, Lieutenant Thatcher, you say you could give it a try, and Commander, you say you've done it before, but not in a shuttle like this. Together, would you be able to muddle through it?
What's that going to be, DM? Is that control security?
Well, we probably should have thought of this before I detached from the ship.
Oh. Oh well.
Either way,
Hindsight's 2020.
we could be classed as still a threat, even if we are an Orion ship, because we're not squawking the right ID. So unless we can...
Yeah, I don't think it's so much about us being a threat. I think it's more implicating the Federation.
It doesn't particularly matter if they think we're a threat as long as they don't think we're a Federation threat.
well, that makes sense. We could disable it completely.
How would we do that?
Insert techno mumbo jumbo here.
You weren't joking when you said you didn't know much about computers, it seems.
I know a little bit, but again, it's more the physics.
By
of it.
tampering with the communications array, we might be able to bypass using some fiber optic cables into a system that squawks maybe a merchant vessel, as opposed to squawking Federation ID.
Alright, well, why don't we give it a try?
Make it so, Mr. Hunt, or Mr. Thatcher.
Hunt,
Or both.
Or Mr. Thatcher. One of you. Make it so.
Hunt, if you can deal with the
Alright, that's going to be
computer-
pretty quick and... Yeah, so Hunt's gotten underneath the main control board, and he's literally ripped off a panel and started ripping out some wires.
and Aura's gonna go down to where the engine is and look at the dials and try and find whatever Hunt's doing with the wires. And
What is Hunt doing with the wires on the
relay that.
runabout?
I don't know. What's Aura doing with the dials on the engine?
I'll tell you what Yennek's doing. He's putting on that EVA suit.
So what Hunt is doing is, okay, so depending on how well he does it, because whether this can be repaired or not, is removing the automatic transponder that most Federation craft transmit, which is probably what he should have done on the way in. But I mean, it might have been something that he would have known about already, but he's modifying it to transpond a Ferengi trader.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
This is not going to be easy.
No. No, because usually you would have to have their sort of either their transponder or their
right.
codes.
So you're trying to fool them. Yeah, you're trying. This
Mimic,
is yeah.
Well, it sounded like Oro was trying to assist somehow with dials on an engine.
Not on the engine, but it has like a control panel for all the different warp physics related things.
Okay, I can tell you it's going to need 4 successes.
Focus.
Yikes.
So we should spend.
And I have a
momentum.
focus.
So I'm letting you have a little bit of a think about how you want to approach that to try to have a decent shot at it.
I would suggest spend a momentum.
We've got 2 momentum, so...
Didn't we spend 2 to stop you
No,
from
we didn't
dying?
actually end up spending any because then we did the whole thing where we went through the rule book and we're like, you can do determination or you can take a complication and yeah. We did all that.
Okay.
So then we determined you didn't need to spend the momentum. There were other ways
Yeah.
to not die.
Hmm. Yeah, if we had time, we should have thought pre-planned this. Anyway, Hunt says to himself.
So are we spending 1 or 2 momentum? What is
Because to buy a second dice takes 3.
Oh, it takes 3, yes. Okay, so 1.
Sorry, it
1
takes
momentum.
1, then 2, then 3. That way, so the maximum you could buy would be 3 momentum if you had... Sorry, 3 dice if you had 6 momentum. So you're 1 momentum...
So we
yeah,
can't
you're 1
buy-
momentum short for 2 dice, but you can get 1.
But we can get 1 extra dice.
Yeah.
Okay. And with Chris rolling, that's a roll. And then my 2 plus my focus, which might get a crit.
Well, you're rolling... You're rolling
Oh,
3 because we bought
I'm rolling
1.
3. Okay.
And then
Alright.
Chris is rolling 1 to assist?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh dear. And we need 4 success.
Yep. So you're
Yeah.
hoping...
So everyone roll really
So you want someone to
low.
be rolling under their thing.
Under my engineering.
Well, he can...
Or under my con.
What do you want it to be, Aaron? Is it security or is it engineering?
No,
or
it's
what is
going to
it?
be...
I was thinking control security, but
it's not security, because security is more physical and combat.
oh, okay.
It's either engineering
It's
or
either
con.
engineering or con. Realistically, it's engineering, but if you want to spend the other momentum, I'll allow it to be con if your con is higher.
My
Mine
con is
is-
higher, but I mean, it's only by 1.
Mine's the same,
So-
so I don't mind.
Alright, well, let's see what happens.
Do you want me to spend the extra momentum?
Up to you.
Up to you.
I think
It's the
Oh,
same
you have
calling,
to, right?
calling it.
Don't we have to?
Eh?
Because we need 4 successes, right?
Well, we've already spent 1 momentum to buy an extra die. We've only got 1 left, and if you spent it, you could use comms instead of engineering. Was that it? Which is 1 better?
Which is 1 better, yeah.
Up to you. If you think it would help.
It may help, but
Alright, go
I think
for it.
everything hinges on
Give-
it, yeah.
given the way Dice Maid's been treating us,
Alright, do
Okay,
comms
here we
instead
go.
of engineering.
fingers crossed, touching wood, toes crossed.
Dice Maiden, don't hate us.
Oh, 1 off.
That's still not bad, man. That's 3 successes.
3
right?
successes.
Oh no!
Oh no! I got 3 successes.
Now wait a minute.
I
now.
needed that 5 to be a 4.
But the supervisor thing. Oh, it doesn't matter. There's only 4 of us here anyway.
Yeah, we can't add in
Yeah.
an NPC who's just
The
been-
guy that crawls out of the
You know
the
that guy we
compartment, yeah.
stashed in the cupboard
Overhead
before we
compartment.
left?
Aha!
Why don't we get him out? See if he can take a crack at it. Oh dear. Oh well, worth a try.
So, but we still succeeded to a certain extent.
Yeah, it's just not.
Maybe it's just squawking garble messages.
Well, it might appear to be Ferengi. It just might.
Until you look.
Yeah, I mean, it's not as robust as you. I mean, you could tell it's not as robust as you wanted it to be. But it's not terrible. Like you missed by one, so.
Could have been worse.
So it's close, but.
You could argue that Hunt succeeded in changing the comm stuff, but the warp signature is still Enterprise. Or not Enterprise, Federation.
It depends if he wants us to have left the shipyard or not. I like the idea, but I don't know if we're out of the shipyard.
It's messy, but I'm not sure if this is going to fool them or not. So, I guess. I mean, he's looking at underneath the con panel, and there's just wires and bits of board hanging everywhere.
I mean, it doesn't seem like we have a better option, does it?
He sits back in his seat, and is like, "Well, Exo, I guess you guys should probably brace yourselves." And he straps himself into the chair, knowing what happened the first time he crashed.
Can I tell? Well, not can I. I will tell Commander Hunt we'll have to plot a somewhat different course to get back to Narendra Station. So instead of a direct course from here to Narendra, we'll have to bounce around a couple of times and see if we can.
Is there any planets here? It's just the asteroid belt.
Please don't hit any.
Planets or asteroids?
Either. Neither would be good for your head.
Well, yeah, I've already hit one planet. To be fair.
To be fair.
How familiar are you with this section of space?
Crashing into planets?
Commander Hunt.
Crashing into planets? Well, it wasn't that long ago.
It's happened in 100% of our missions so far.
I have not crashed yet. I'm actually not very familiar with Orion space.
Okay. So
but
let's
it's
do a
not
quick
too hard to
scan of the, or a quick call up on the computer to learn quickly if there's any Class M planets.
There is none.
And there is none.
Yeah, not within.
So
This seems to be deliberately where it is.
Huh.
deliberately in the middle of nowhere,
Yeah.
so if something happens to it, the Orions can't escape anywhere?
Well, you're not sure why they do what they do, but it's obvious that it's not meant to be near a planet.
Okay. I suppose it avoids any political entanglements with whomever they're selling stuff to. Okay, so we will have to find a way that we can kind of bounce around to avoid our warp signature.
I mean, they do have a Federation ship here, so I mean...
Yeah, but we don't know how they came about getting
No,
that ship.
but it's probably not something that they would want to just have laying around at everyone's seeing.
Oh, yeah, okay, I see, yes. Okay, so I think we will want to take a few extra stops to make our way back to Narendra Station, in the hopes that we can kind of mask our immediate warp signature. I mean, it'll be easy enough for them to track it, but who's to say, that was a Federation thing? If they visited this place, then they visited that place, then they visited that place, then they, So kind of 3 stops before we get right back to Narendra Station.
I can't help think, but we're forgetting something.
I'm sure we are, but we'll discover it at the most
Any
inconvenient
idea what
time.
kind of a thing?
Wait, weren't we supposed to set the auto self-destruct?
On what?
The ship? Wasn't that part reason why we came?
We
originally-
probably wouldn't want we wouldn't want them to have the ship, but I think we were trying to avoid a political incident. That would seem
I don't
very...
imagine destructing the ship with Orion workers on it.
Yeah, that would be very indictable, right?
Well, a starship that they captured illegally.
Yeah, but on a mission that you're technically also
Yes,
illegally.
but that we'd be blowing it up illegally.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I agree with you that would be the right thing to do. However, given that we're trying to avoid a major incident.
I don't know if when they're court-martialing you, you can argue that two illegal actions cancel each other out, Commander.
Yeah, and
Wait, what? Who said anything about a court
if,
martial?
if there was enough damage and stuff, there would probably... This would not be easy to keep secret. And the captain would be right there next to you at the court-martial.
And it would put the Federation in another conflict
Yeah.
that they're not prepared
Pointing the
Yeah.
finger at us.
And,
They stole that shuttle.
like,
and
he knew,
It was
They
supposed to
said
be
they
a
were-
long-range comms check.
they said they were going on a long-range
and he's
comms
aware that you're not. But, you know, he's put his neck on the line, too, by doing it to get the Warpcore. But if
Yep.
it turned into a full-on casualty sort of thing, that would be
Yes.
hard for him to be like, yeah, you know, I made a judgment call, and because it'd be like, you made a judgment call to break treaty, put the Federation in a difficult position, cause, you know,
Well, at the time, it seemed like a good call.
I mean, the Federation is also in a position where it is having to pick its battles.
Okay, so XO, what's your orders?
I think the order is going to be to insert a few waypoints in our journey back to Narendra Station. It's unfortunate, but we're going to have to delay our return.
Well, plot's laid in. We just need a path out of here.
Yeah, so I'm going to say to engage warp drive at the earliest availability, to safely do so, and then we will head to our interim stop.
All right, so
Possibly we can look for a gaseous anomaly that can successfully mask our warp signature between here and the Narendra station.
The Voyages of the USS Pegasus utilizes the excellent official rules Star Trek Adventures released by Mephidius Games, featuring Emily as Lieutenant Kelle, Shadow as Lieutenant Aura, Raveninsane as Commander Hunt, Ken as Commander Yennek, and Ghost as the GM. Many of the sounds come from Syrinscape, an excellent app for bringing more life to your gaming table. You can find us at critfail.com.